Suppose you're alone in the wilderness, the crunch of your boots the only sound breaking the eerie silence. But then, something shifts. A rustle in the bushes, a shadow moving just beyond the tree line. Someone is watching you. In this bone-chilling compilation, we've gathered 25 of the scariest hiking encounters caught on camera. From strange figures that appear out of nowhere to unnatural sounds echoing through the woods, these terrifying moments will make you question what you thought you knew about the outdoors. Each video is a glimpse into a nightmare that hikers didn't expect but couldn't escape. Especially, don't miss the last one. 25. The crime scene. Sam and Colby, popular YouTubers known for exploring eerie places, teamed up with the Ireland Boys to visit the Forest Haven Asylum in Laurel, Maryland. This abandoned asylum, opened in 1925, was notorious for abuse, poor conditions, and numerous patient deaths. It closed in 1991, but rumors say the spirits of deceased patients still haunt it. The group ventured there on September 10, 2017, despite a warning sign about trespassing. They ignored the risk of arrest and continued their exploration. There, they discovered a room with bed tags bearing patient names. They were struck by the sadness of the asylum's past. Suddenly, they heard a crash and a chilling laugh, making them feel uneasy. As they tried to leave, they spotted 3 figures approaching the building. Fearing they might be security guards, they hid in the bushes. While trying to escape, they heard a woman screaming for help. Unsure whether to help or run, they fled as police began patrolling the area. Later, they learned the screams belonged to Laura Wallen, a missing teacher who was murdered by her boyfriend, Tyler Tessier. Sam and Colby reflected on how their visit coincided with the tragic events that unfolded that night. A 24-person wandering through the woods. On January 4, 2024, Angelo, an experienced urban explorer, and his friend Frank set out to explore a haunted forest in Canada. Known for venturing into abandoned places, Angelo was used to unexpected adventures, but this time, things took a disturbing turn. As night fell, the pair walked through the snow, introducing the forest to their viewers. The only sound was the crunch of snow beneath their feet, which made the silence even more unsettling. They soon noticed fresh tracks in the snow, indicating that someone had recently been there. Then, Angelo saw a faint flashlight in the distance. They stopped and debated its source. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed nearby, like a stick breaking. When they called out, there was no reply. 2 flashlights appeared again, but when they turned off, the forest grew even darker. Angelo and Frank decided to move to another part of the forest, but the flashlights followed them. The beam landed on their hiding spot, and they feared they had been spotted. Panic set in when they heard footsteps getting closer. They ran deeper into the woods and found fresh blood in the snow, adding to their fear. They hid again, and after 15 tense minutes, the strangers' voices stopped. Angelo and Frank quietly left the forest, unsure if the figures were fellow explorers or something more sinister. They wouldn't return anytime soon. 23. Abandoned Asylum. TikToker Nathalia Valente decided to explore an abandoned asylum with a group of friends and recorded their eerie adventures. As they made their way through the decaying hallways, they eventually reached the asylum's old morgue. Little did they know, the camera captured something truly unsettling. In the footage, ghostly figures can be seen fleetingly through the broken windows above the group. When the video is slowed down, these figures seem to have pale, zombie-like faces staring down at the group. The moment is brief, but enough to leave viewers wondering what they were. Some have speculated that the figures could have been homeless individuals who were drawn to the noise of the group below. This theory seems reasonable, but there's one detail that adds an eerie twist. None of the people in Nathalia's group seem to notice the watchers in the windows. The figures remain hidden in the shadows, watching silently as the group moves through the asylum. Could it be that these figures were silently following the group, keeping their distance in the shadows? Or is it possible that Nathalia's camera captured the restless spirits of the asylum's haunted past, lingering long after the building was abandoned? What do you think? Were these just curious wanderers, or something far more unsettling? 22. Unknown figure. On November 26, 2024, Bear, known for his solo camping trips and exploring abandoned buildings, heads into a dark forest with a haunted cemetery known for ghost stories and Bigfoot sightings. Arriving at night, Bear is ready for the cold, but unaware of the terror that awaits him. He makes his way toward the cemetery, but the atmosphere begins to feel strange. The silence is broken by a weird sound from the direction of his truck. Ignoring it, he continues to the cemetery. As he reaches the site, he recalls a deer he had seen before, but something else catches his attention. At first, he doesn't see anything out of the ordinary, but then he notices a figure standing among the gravestones. The figure slowly turns toward him, and Bear, frightened, decides to run back to his truck. He reaches his vehicle, heart racing, trying to calm down. The figure appeared human, dressed in black with a glowing white mask. The eerie presence of the figure scares him deeply, and he begins to suspect it isn't alone. Shaken, Bear abandons his camping plans and leaves the forest, still wondering who or what was in the cemetery that night. The mystery adds to the cemetery's terrifying legend. 21 Forests of Rodney, Mississippi. On November 19, 2023, Casey Nolan from Mindside TV and his friend Colton returned to an abandoned ghost town in Rodney, Mississippi, known for its eerie paranormal activity. As they walked through the woods, the sun set, leaving them in complete darkness. They noticed a campfire in the distance and used night vision binoculars to get a closer look. To their horror, they saw a man holding an axe. When he noticed them, he put out the fire and stared directly at them, as if he could see through the darkness. Feeling watched, they decided to keep moving towards the ghost town, unaware of the dangers ahead. As they approached the outskirts of the town, they saw someone moving nearby, confirming their fear that they were being watched. They sought refuge in an abandoned church where they had experienced paranormal events before. While attempting to communicate with spirits, the building suddenly began to shake violently, as if an earthquake had occurred. Terrified, they decided to leave. On their way out, they encountered another threat, a large tree blocking the road. After getting out of the car to clear it, Colton spotted something moving in the dark. When they looked through the binoculars, they saw a figure running toward them. In a panic, they sped away, narrowly escaping the danger. 20 Lewis Clark. On the night of September 24, 2017, 3 friends from the Lewis Clark channel, Lewis, James, and Tom, explored an old, abandoned insane asylum. The building had been in ruins for over 30 years and was known to shelter homeless people, but the trio saw it as a chance to uncover the place's hidden secrets. The asylum was falling apart, with graffiti and mold covering the hallways, cracked tiles on the floor, and ceilings in danger of collapsing. Despite the decay, they continued, thinking it was part of the experience. However, they weren't prepared for what would happen next. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed through the empty halls. They tried to brush it off, thinking it was just the wind, but the feeling of being watched stayed with them. As they moved down another dark corridor, they were startled when a man suddenly appeared, running toward them with a knife. They immediately ran for their lives, not stopping until they were outside, exhausted and safe. It seemed the man was a resident of the asylum, likely guarding his territory. Still shaken, the friends vowed never to return. What began as an adventure quickly turned into a nightmare they never wanted to repeat. 19 Tim and Company. Tim, Ben, and John decided to explore an old house deep in the woods. The house had a dark reputation, rumored to be the site of ancient rituals. The idea of discovering something eerie excited them, but they were also nervous. Armed with flashlights, they cautiously approached the house, its decaying structure looming before them. As they stepped onto the property, their initial excitement began to fade, replaced by an uneasy feeling. The house was in worse condition than they had imagined, with broken windows, peeling walls, and strange graffiti covering every surface. There were bizarre symbols painted on the walls and items scattered around that seemed to be used for some kind of ritual. The air inside was thick and musty, filled with the smell of decay as they moved from room to room. The deeper they ventured, the more the tension grew. They started hearing strange noises, whispers, creaks, and the occasional thud, all of which sent chills down their spines. When they reached the back of the house, they found a locked door, scratched as though something had been trying to break through it. They attempted to leave, but to their horror, the door they had entered through was now stuck, trapping them inside. Panic set in as they frantically tried to escape. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they managed to break the door open and ran into the woods, terrified and out of breath. 18 Paranormal in Cornfield, a twin paranormal, a team known for their investigations into the supernatural, decided to explore Ferrari Farms, a location often nicknamed Skinwalker Ranch due to its eerie history. The farm's cornfield was their focus, as it had a reputation for strange and unexplainable occurrences. They arrived equipped with tools to detect paranormal activity, including EMF meters and a music box designed to react to movement. As darkness set in, the team began noticing odd events. The music box chimed unexpectedly, suggesting something was nearby. Their EMF meters spiked dramatically, especially when they mentioned demons being associated with cornfields. The already unsettling environment intensified when they heard distinct footsteps behind them, even though no one was visible. While pressing forward, the group experienced an overwhelming sense of unease, as though they were being watched from the shadows. Suddenly, they heard a cold, sharp voice that warned of a trapped soul lingering in the cornfield. The deeper they ventured, the darker and more oppressive the atmosphere became. Shadows seemed to flicker unnaturally, and faint whispers surrounded them, creating an unshakable sense of dread. By the end of their investigation, the team was left deeply unsettled. They couldn't explain the strange phenomena they encountered and departed the site with more questions than answers. The experience haunted them, solidifying the farm's reputation as a place of unearthly activity. 17 Haunting of Cannock Chase. A team of ghost hunters ventured into Cannock Chase, a forest notorious for its paranormal activity, for a nighttime investigation. As darkness fell, they set up camp and began using a spirit communication device to reach out to any lingering entities. Almost immediately, chilling messages crackled through the device, including phrases like, "Leave me alone," and "Graveyards hide secrets," sending shivers down their spines. While walking back to their camp, they caught sight of a shadowy figure moving between the trees. With flashlights in hand, they investigated the area, but everything seemed untouched, leaving them questioning what they had seen. Later in the night, the spirit communication device began speaking in German, an unexpected twist that intensified the mystery. Phrases like, "I lost an arm, boy," and "Here I am" emerged, prompting the team to suspect a connection to the nearby German military graveyard, which holds the remains of soldiers from World War II. The group endured a restless night, haunted by the strange occurrences and oppressive atmosphere. The next morning, fresh deer tracks were discovered near the camp, but the unsettling sense of being watched lingered, leaving them with more questions than answers. 16 Creepy Clown. While filming a drone shot over a seemingly tranquil cornfield, Jesse Tyler Ridgway encounters something chilling that turns his shoot into a nightmare. As the drone captures footage of the swaying stalks, a corncob suddenly hurtles toward it, jarring the feed. Intrigued and alarmed, Jesse zooms in, only to spot an eerie figure emerging from the corn, a clown with a disturbingly unnatural grin painted across its face. The clown stares at the drone with an unsettling intensity, its gaze unwavering. Before Jesse can process what he's seeing, the clown hurls another corncob at the drone. This time, its eyes shift as though locking onto Jesse himself. Panic grips him and his friend, and they abandon their equipment, choosing instead to flee into the towering cornfield. As they sprint through the labyrinth of stalks, the sound of heavy, deliberate footsteps echoes behind them. The clown is giving chase, the rustling of the corn growing louder and more frenzied with every passing second. Despite their fear, Jesse and his friend manage to escape the field. They find safety, but the haunting experience costs them their drone and equipment, leaving behind more than just their belongings, a lingering sense of dread. 15 Attacked with Arrows. Tim Morozov, a popular Russian YouTuber known for his eerie camping and ghost hunting videos, recently recounted a harrowing experience during one of his outdoor adventures. Accompanied by his loyal dog Cum, Tim set out on what he thought would be a routine camping trip. However, the night took a sinister turn when he heard footsteps outside his tent, shattering the stillness of the forest. Grabbing his flashlight, Tim cautiously stepped out, ready to confront whoever or whatever was intruding. To his shock, Cum bolted into the dark woods, disappearing without a trace. Concerned for his dog's safety, Tim spent the night on edge, searching in vain the next morning. During his search, he stumbled upon strange cryptic symbols carved into the surrounding trees, deepening the unsettling atmosphere. As night descended once more and Cum remained missing, Tim reluctantly set up camp again. The feeling of being watched became unbearable, with inexplicable noises and movements in the shadows heightening his anxiety. Just when the tension became almost unmanageable, Cum reappeared, seemingly unharmed. Without hesitation, Tim packed up and left the eerie location. Whether the events were a carefully staged production or a genuine brush with the unknown remains unclear, but Tim's unnerving tale has left viewers captivated and questioning the mysteries of the wilderness. 14. The Dead Body. Wes, a 31-year-old YouTuber and creator of Adventures with Wes, is known for exploring eerie, remote locations alongside his friend Andy. On July 27, 2020, the duo embarked on a chilling journey into a dense, dark forest rumored to house old abandoned tunnels. The area's history and ominous reputation had intrigued their audience, sparking curiosity about what lay hidden within. As they ventured deeper into the forest, an overwhelming stench of rotting fish filled the air. Initially brushing it off as typical of the damp surroundings, they pressed on, determined to uncover the tunnel's secrets. However, the smell became unbearable as they reached an old sewer system, where they stumbled upon something horrifying. A blood-soaked white cloth wrapped around what appeared to be a body. Overcome with panic and fear, Wes and Andy fled the scene, immediately contacting the authorities. Since that day, no further details or updates have been released, leaving viewers in a state of suspense. Was the chilling discovery real, or a carefully orchestrated stunt to draw attention? The lack of resolution only deepens the mystery. What do you think happened in the forest that day? 13. Cryptid. In the Philippines, an unusual gathering of locals captured attention as they stood transfixed by a mysterious creature perched on the roof of a store. The being had a human-like physique, but featured terrifying and distorted characteristics. It crouched menacingly on the rooftop, its unsettling form made even more chilling by the dimly lit surroundings. When a brave individual shined a flashlight on the creature, its grotesque features became unmistakably visible, sending a wave of unease through those watching. Strangely, pedestrians in the background appeared completely unaware of the entity, casually continuing their routines as though nothing was amiss. This odd contrast between fear and indifference only deepened the mystery. As the footage continued, the reactions of the locals shifted. Laughter broke out among some onlookers, sparking debate about the authenticity of the encounter. Was this a genuine cryptid sighting or an elaborate prank? The ambiguity of the situation left viewers divided, with some pointing to the creature's haunting appearance as evidence of something extraordinary, while others dismissed it as a clever hoax. Regardless of its origin, the cryptid's eerie presence and the perplexing human reactions ensured the event would remain etched in local folklore and online speculation. 12. Bow Hunter. A chilling video shared by Bow Hunt Bros on TikTok has left viewers unsettled. The footage captures two bow hunters sitting quietly in the wilderness when a deep primal bellow echoes through the forest. The sound, resonating from an unseen source, is both haunting and perplexing, as no creature emerges from the dense woods to reveal itself. The hunters appear uneasy, their expressions mirroring the unease that many viewers have expressed after watching the video. Theories abound in the comments section, with some suggesting it could be the call of a bobcat, infamous for its spine-chilling screams that resemble a woman's cry. However, others lean towards a more sinister explanation, speculating that it might be the elusive Sasquatch or an unidentified creature altogether. What adds to the intrigue is the hunters' inability to pinpoint the origin of the sound, despite being seasoned outdoorsmen. Their decision to document the incident rather than investigate further only deepens the mystery, leaving viewers to ponder the possibilities. Was this an ordinary wildlife encounter, or could it be evidence of something more enigmatic lurking in the forest? What do you make of the eerie noise? 11. Bigfoot sighting. A video filmed by a harvester has sparked significant interest after the uploader claimed to have captured clear evidence of a Bigfoot sighting. The footage begins with a massive, human-like figure leaping from a tree at the edge of a dense forest. The creature, appearing much larger than a typical human, then swiftly runs to the left, before quickly turning right and vanishing back into the woods. Its size and movements closely resemble those attributed to the legendary Bigfoot, a creature often said to inhabit the remote and untouched areas of forests, making this sighting all the more compelling. What makes this footage particularly intriguing is the location itself. Typically associated with deep, secluded forests, Bigfoot sightings are rare, and this sighting seems to occur far from its usual territory. The uploader suggests that the creature might have been drawn out by the presence of the harvester or the operator behind it, possibly out of curiosity. The video raises a number of questions. What motivated Bigfoot to approach so close to human activity? Could this be a rare instance of the creature being more curious than elusive? The sighting fuels speculation about Bigfoot's behavior and whether this creature might be more adaptable to human proximity than previously thought. A 10 mysterious creature. In 1997, a mysterious camera was discovered deep in a dense forest, 2 miles outside of Emerson County. It was handed over to local authorities, and the footage it contained was both strange and chilling. The video starts innocently enough with a peaceful forest scene, showing 2 hikers traversing the wooded area. The camera, mounted to one of their backpacks, captures the beauty of the trees and the quiet rustling of leaves. However, the tranquility of the forest quickly dissolves as the footage shifts to something more ominous. The camera captures a shadowy figure lurking among the trees, almost blending seamlessly with its surroundings. The figure moves with an unsettling precision, crouching low to the ground before springing forward, its inhuman movements clearly visible in the footage. It makes strange guttural sounds that send a chill down the spine. The hikers, realizing they're being pursued, break into a frantic run. The camera shakes violently, and as the pair sprints, the lens briefly falls, capturing only the chaotic sounds of footsteps, strange growls, and snapping branches. The footage ends abruptly, leaving more questions than answers. Was it a cryptid, an undiscovered creature lurking in the forest, or something far more terrifying and otherworldly? The authorities were unable to identify the creature, and to this day, the video remains a mystery, fueling speculation and fear among those who view it. 9 Haunted Park. A father decided to take his children to Hummel Park one evening, hoping to debunk the unsettling rumors that surrounded the place, which was said to be haunted. The family had heard tales of eerie occurrences, from strange lights to ghostly apparitions, but the father dismissed them as mere superstition. He wanted to prove that there was nothing to fear. As they ventured deeper into the park, the mood shifted. The kids noticed something odd, a trail of blood leading through the trees. They followed it cautiously, only to stumble upon a bloody t-shirt and several candles arranged in a strange ritualistic pattern. The air felt thick with tension, and the children grew increasingly uneasy. Then, from the shadows, a pale, almost otherworldly figure emerged, its features indistinct but unmistakably human. The father, his heart pounding, shone his flashlight toward the figure. In an instant, the family rushed back to their car, the sense of dread intensifying with every step. As they drove away, the nightmare was far from over. The pale figure appeared in the middle of the road, as if it had followed them. The father, panicked but quick-thinking, slammed the car into reverse, narrowly avoiding the apparition before it disappeared into the night. What they had hoped was a myth had turned into a terrifying reality. 8 Scary Tunnel and Woods. Zach, the creator behind the YouTube channel Into the Void, had been captivated by a creepy tunnel in Colorado Springs ever since a chilling encounter years prior. Determined to revisit the eerie location, he prepared himself mentally and physically for whatever lay ahead. The tunnel had long been rumored to be a hotspot for strange occurrences, with numerous visitors reporting odd experiences, but none of them had been as unsettling as Zach's. He entered the tunnel alone, his camera rolling to capture any potential footage of the unknown. As Zach ventured deeper into the dark passage, an unnerving sound pierced the stillness, a loud, animal-like scream echoing through the walls. It was the same sound he had heard during his previous visit, but this time it seemed closer. Tension rose within him, but he pressed on, his curiosity driving him forward. However, as he rounded a corner, his eyes caught sight of fresh, wet footprints, leading him to believe that whatever had made the noise was not only nearby, but had been in the tunnel recently. His fear grew as he realized he wasn't alone. Panicking, Zach turned and bolted toward the entrance, heart pounding in his chest. Just as the weight of the experience nearly overwhelmed him, he managed to escape the tunnel, gasping for breath. Despite the terror, he couldn't shake the thought that whatever had been lurking inside wasn't an animal. It was something much taller, far more sinister. 7. Weird bag and stuff. A YouTuber ventured into the woods, guided by Randonautica, hoping for something intriguing, but the experience turned into a nightmare. As he followed a narrow trail, the peaceful surroundings were quickly interrupted by strange noises. At first, it was a soft, eerie lullaby drifting through the trees. He shrugged it off as the wind or a nearby house, but the sounds didn't stop. Soon, he heard the distinct noises of wood being chopped, followed by unsettling animal growls that echoed around him. As darkness descended, the air grew heavy, and the YouTuber couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. His unease deepened when he stumbled upon a series of bizarre items. First, he found a foamy bottle of potion lying in the underbrush. Then, a half-doll with matted hair appeared, as if discarded in the middle of the forest. Nearby, a bag lay ominously on the ground, containing the doll's severed head and clothing, adding to the sense of dread. But the true horror lay in the photo he uncovered. A picture of a couple, with the man's face deliberately scratched out. Accompanying the photo was a strange love letter, its words cryptic and dark. It became clear that something sinister, perhaps even a ritual, had occurred here. Feeling a presence he couldn't explain, the YouTuber was overwhelmed with the eerie certainty that he was not alone in the woods. 6. Camper went missing. On February 3, 2009, 3 friends went camping at Amicalola River in North Georgia and were never seen again. Their camera was found near the campsite with footage of their last moments. After an obstacle on the trail, they had to carry their gear deep into the woods and set up camp. At first they had fun, but soon strange sounds and shadows made them uneasy. They ignored the signs until the sounds grew louder. The rest of the footage was lost or corrupted, but some believe a cryptid called the Dogman, a large dog-like creature, was chasing them. The friends were never found again. What do you think happened? 5. Pale figure. A trail cam owner retrieved his device from the woods and was shocked by what it captured. The first photo showed a faint, pale figure in the corner of the screen, with only its head, shoulder, and part of an arm visible. In the second photo, the figure was fully revealed, shrouded in mist. Its limbs were thin, and it seemed to be unclothed. The head was tilted sideways, showing an alien-like skull. Some believe it might be an extraterrestrial caught on camera, while others think it's a hoax. What do you think? Is this just a fake, or could there be more to it? 4. Bear attack. A hunter in the Canadian forest finds himself in danger when a black bear charges at him. Armed only with a bow, he tries to scare the bear off by yelling, but it doesn't work. The bear attacks, causing the hunter to fall, but luckily he survives as the bear retreats. He picks up his camera to assure everyone that he's okay. It was a close call, and the situation could have ended much worse. Ritual Doll. A YouTuber named Josh and his friend went on a Randonautica run and found something that could haunt them forever. They came across a doll that seemed to have been involved in a dark ritual with fresh blood on it. Upon closer inspection, they noticed a symbol on the doll's forehead, the Leviathan Cross, also known as Satan's Cross, which is associated with occult practices. They also discovered a pentagram and a pot covered in blood, further suggesting black magic was involved. Randonautica is a geocaching app that generates random, eerie locations. Many users have reported feeling watched or paranoid after using it, often leading them to unsettling and disturbing places. So, what's going on here? Is Randonautica just an app, or is there something darker at play? Alien, a person filming in night vision on their property, was recording their cat when it suddenly became alert to something. As the camera pans, the footage reveals what appears to be an alien figure. The interaction lasts for almost 2 minutes, and while the video is grainy, the figure closely resembles the typical gray alien. The filmer's voice shows a mix of confusion and fear as they try to make sense of what they're seeing. The alien doesn't retreat, instead it stands its ground, even holding what seems to be a laser device. Driven by curiosity, the person approaches the spot where the creature was, but by the time they arrive, it's gone. vanished without a trace. In a panic, they rush back to the porch, only for the alien to reappear. This time, fear takes over, and the person films from a distance, watching as the alien stands still with the laser pointed at them. The whole situation is unsettling, almost like the alien is deliberately playing with the filmer, creating a sense of being hunted. One Muir Woods National Park. On June 8, 2018, Danny and his wife went hiking in Muir Woods National Park. While walking, they encountered something strange and unsettling. Danny's wife filmed their hike, capturing the peaceful beauty of the woods. However, when she panned the camera towards Danny, his reaction to a strange noise made them stop. Initially, they dismissed it as a normal forest sound. Later, when they reviewed the footage at home, they noticed something disturbing. At the exact moment Danny heard the noise, a mysterious figure appeared behind a tree. Upon pausing and slowing down the video, a dark humanoid shape could be seen peeking out. Some might say it could be a bear, but this part of California isn't known for bears. So what could it be? Could this be a real encounter with Bigfoot? The figure does resemble what many believe Bigfoot might look like, raising the possibility that they might have captured a rare sighting of the legendary creature. And for more creepy tales, watch this next video.